So, the second theory that I chose to apply to this developmental stage is the ecological theory. It was developed by Yuri Bronfenbrenner in 1979, and it stresses that a person's development is mostly based on the interactions between that individual and their environment. It uh, points out that individuals do have an impact on their environment and development, and it is not something that just happens to all of us. Development. Um, it states that development and environments are constantly changing, and that people's perception of their environment is very key to this theory. So an example that the textbook uses is the example of unemployment, how one person may view having to go on unemployment as a tragedy, and losing a job uh, can be tragic, and another person can view losing a job and going on unemployment as an opportunity to explore other aspects of life, like going back to school and furthering their education. So, applying the ecological theory to my uncle's life development and experiences, he grew up in a southern environment, so it's a lot more slow paced. And um, as I stated before, perception is very key to this theory. So, in this slow paced environment, we talked about how you could either look at it as this is a slow paced environment, it's very suburban. So I am going to, focus more on my work and my development as a person because it's not like a busy city. It's a lot more downtime. It's a lot quieter. So focusing on yourself and self exploration. Or you could view the slow paced environment um as boredom. Basically you're bored and you want to get mischievous, and he said sometimes he found himself wanting to be mischievous because he was from a slow-paced environment. There wasn't a lot going on, so he wanted to get into things that he probably shouldn't have been getting into. And then sometimes he wanted to buckle down and focus on working or getting schoolwork done. Um he told me that he feels as though peer pressure is easier to succumb to in slower paced environments because there is less going on. Um, he he said that like there was less, so you're with, you're with your friends and family most of the time. And there's not, back in his day, of course, there wasn't a lot of extracurricular activities that didn't involve just going outside to play. So you would find yourself sometimes getting into things that you probably shouldn't be getting into just for fun because you're bored. um so the main limitations of the ecological theory are that it is a very broad scope. The theory has a very broad scope. And what that means is that because you're focusing on a person's environment for this theory, one social worker may focus on one aspect of a person's environment, and another social worker may focus on a different one. Therefore, when it comes to trying to uh, evaluate and discover a person's development through their environment, but it's the same theory and it's the same individual. However, these two social workers could come to very different conclusions for why this person developed the way that they did. Um, and another limitation of this theory is that it neglects to address the biological factors of an individual and the internal factors that make that person who they are, and the internal factors that affect the development of a person. These are my references for articles and the textbook. Thank you all so much for watching my presentation. I hope that it was clear and understandable. I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of the semester, and I wish you all the best of luck.